Good morning, everyone. I want to show you here. So the Torlonia Villa, okay, this is it. The Casino Nobile, which was the official residence of Benito Mussolini, was his residence from 1929 until 1943. He lived here with his family. This palace is located in the middle of a large park, which today is a public park, right? People come here to exercise, and it's actually a very beautiful place, right? Very relaxing. Here to spend maybe a Sunday, which is our case. We're here on an Easter Sunday and our group is doing well, here at the entrance. To be able to visit the bunker that Mussolini built down here, Mussolini ordered the construction of this bunker in 1940. Right? Actually 41, and this bunker was built from that date on. Initially, a first bunker, which is right here under the residence. I'll show it to you in a moment. And we'll also see a second bunker. It's even deeper and a bit offset in relation to the building's floor, right? To the building's foundation. But it's a visit that's only been possible to make since 2024. This was open for visitation last year, so now we're going to visit Mussolini's bunker once again. I already visited it once a little while ago to get to know and familiarize myself with everything, and now I'm going to show you how it is. Let's go. Hi, Doctor. Torlonia was completely restored in the 90s, and now it's open for visitation, right? Our visit will go straight to the bunker. So we're already here at the entrance. We just go in, and we won't see all the rooms of the palace, right? The Casino Nobile, because that's not the goal here. But if you want to schedule a broader visit to see the whole house, I believe that's possible. Here you can see there's quite a high level of luxury, right? The moldings and all the interior decoration of the residence. And now we're going to go down this way. Look, let's go down here so we can access the first floor of the bunker, the air raid shelter. Like I told you, right? This was a decision made by Mussolini starting in 1940, right? With the entry into the war, he didn't feel safe having his residence so well known, especially after the Royal Air Force attacked Berlin in 1940, right? So it would be very dangerous.
Let me make a small introduction about the tour. We won't find captions, we won't find explanations on the walls because the setup was designed to give people an experience.
Bigger, the bunker was completely restored.
So that people
can experience the feeling of being here. Okay, not only that, you come in and have the whole experience.
Look.
Here are some photos of Mussolini's life during his stay here. Torlonia, okay, Mussolini. There was a big athletic park here, man, for track and field because he really liked to play sports, right? And because of the fascist party's own social policy, he really emphasized individual health. Okay, so here we have a lot of pictures that show this family life, these sports that Mussolini used to do here. Look how well everything is restored, right? Smoke, don't smoke, love your companions. The air spoiled by smoke causes harm. Give proof of good manners. Give proof of good manners to those around you. Here we have a control panel. This here must be completely original, right? It's completely original. In fact, there's an inscription here. Look, Royal Air Force, which one of the English aviators who occupied this after the Italian surrender in 43 left here, right? He made this inscription here. Look, Royal Air Force, indicating that these two switches here worked for some reason, right? For use by the Royal Air Force, the Royal Air Force. Look at this door here, a sealed door, right? A fortress door. With the label, Old Doors, Brevetto Social, Bergone Milano, made in Milan. This door. Here has a whole new air circulation system, right? To cool this environment so that it can be used. Some videos from the Ludi Institute play here, right? Showing the bombings of 1943. Here we also have some murals on the wall. Look at how people are standing over there. Like I said, part of the piping And another interesting room. Man, this first floor here is a floor that was built in a less planned way, right below the Casino Nobile, you know, right below the mansion. So this area was considered quite vulnerable to bombings because, well, if you target the mansion, you'll end up hitting the shelter itself, right? So a second level was built, which we're going to see in a bit. It's down there, okay? I'll keep showing you this level. Here are some simulations of people leaving their normal activities during a siren. An air raid alert, so they would come down here to take shelter from the bombings, right? It's a very spacious shelter, I can tell you that. And look, some entrances are still closed. We can't get in here. In this room, there's a very interesting projection of several civilians, right? Taking shelter from the bombings. And here in front, the ceiling is low. You have to be careful not to hit your head. Look. Over there in front, it's also blocked. You can't go. But here there's another door. It has a really strong lock, a hermetic door, I believe. And in this hall here, look, you have drinking water. There are some fire prevention systems over there. And here on the floor, a simulation actually is a visual record of bombing. And what's curious is that in this room, it was discovered now during the restoration. This was discovered, look, these are ancient tombs. This here is an archaeological site whose contents are still not exactly known, right? It hasn't been studied much, no, but since we're in Rome, right? It's quite likely to find this kind of thing in any kind of excavation, okay? So now I'm gonna go back to show you a lower level, guys. So, like I told you here, we have the entrance to the lower floor of Mussolini's bunker. And at this point here, we already go down to a much more protected shelter. The original shelter is this one you're seeing here. It even has these ventilation exits, right? So it's not completely immune to attacks. For example, with chemical munitions, it would be impossible to survive in a shelter like this, okay? So this second shelter was built here. As I said, it's farther from the building's floor, okay? So now we're going to check it out. Let's go in here. I'll show you everything, all right? The way for you guys, because I think this staircase is more interesting, it has about, 25 or 30 steps. Let's show it here. Let's see. There's a step here, so be careful not to trip. So I'm showing you here exclusively the war room. Do you see Mussolini's bunker? I'm here. The wooden floor is making this noise. I'm alone down here. And this was the structure here. Powered here. Also, this other room. Compared to Hitler's bunker in Berlin, which existed, this is a much smaller structure, much smaller than that one, but completely intact. The one in Berlin is not intact. And here is the exit. You take it when you finish the visit. So, Casino Nobre, Villa Torlonia, exclusively here in the war room for you. So I'm here in the middle of the bunker, in the main atrium, right at the main point of Mussolini's bunker, to show you this place that was recently opened. This opened last year, as I mentioned. But anyone coming to Rome can check out Benito Mussolini's bunker for the first time. It's quite interesting. I would come and schedule a visit here at Villa Torlonia and make sure you have an appointment, because getting in here is pretty bureaucratic. I'm telling you, the bureaucracy is because of the guides up there who want to preserve this place as much as possible from crowds. So only Look, only 15 people can enter at a time, maybe 20, but no more than that. Their rule is 15 people at a time. All right? One last thing. Let me show you the bombing simulation that happens down here. Look, now we're going to do the bombing simulation inside the bunker. Look, everyone is here. You can hear the aircraft approaching. Look, the floor, there's a whole system here. It shakes when the bombs hit.
This is the siren. And then I go until the end of the bombing in Milan. At the end of the bombing, lock. Because now we have taken this path, which was a fiction. We tried to feel what it means to be under siege, what it means to be bombed.
But now we go outside and there's a beautiful park.
Now that we're finishing the visit, everyone has already left. This, as I told you, is the exit path from Mussolini's bunker. It's a structure that wasn't used much, so it's really well preserved here, but it's a tour I highly recommend you take when you come to Rome. Of course, if you go to Belém, you can visit the bunker at Gesundebrunnen station, which is a much more realistic experience, I would say, because that bunker there was used very intensely. So here, we already reached the outer level of Villa Torlonia of Casino Nobile. A wonderful Sunday, as you can see here. And here's a tip. If you want to join our expeditions, the link is right here in the description. So guys, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the visit, if you liked getting to know Benito Mussolini's bunker here with the War Room. There are a lot of people here with us. Look, they just had this experience, and you can have this experience too, an experience that you can share with us as well. So sign up to join us on our new expeditions. We're heading to Normandy in June this year, and in October, we're going to the United States to learn everything about the World War II nuclear program. The Manhattan Project, which this year marks 80 years since both the first atomic test and the 2 atomic bombings. So, if you want to see all of this, if you want to visit Los Alamos, see Robert Oppenheimer's house, and visit ground zero of the first nuclear explosion at the test site, Trinity, and also, man, have you ever dreamed of flying in a Boeing B-29 bomber? And also, the Brazilian Expeditionary Force was integrated into the combat structure of the Fifth Army. Here's a big hug from the War Room.